Bienvenido.
It's Chili's o'clock somewhere.
Slosh hours. Welcome back, guys. This is your host, Slosh. This is I think the 10th Sloshcast so far. Today I have a special guest who's related to me, Toby.
How's it going?
Toby is 22, right?
Something like that.
He's like 22, just going to school, going to Ball's Teen in Indiana.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking about music, politics. Yeah, music and politics. That's it. That's on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I want to get into music because we're both musicians, and you have more experience in the music genre. What do you think about music as a whole today?
Well, to start, I think pretty much anything that's popular or in the top 10, or if you go to iTunes, pretty much anything that's in the top 10 or recommended is just, it's usually just garbage. Like, it's not, there's very little thought that's put into it. It's mostly overproduced. Basically, the producer does everything. The musician doesn't really do anything anymore.
Yeah.
They maybe write like one catchy line or some catchy lyric or something, but then I doubt if Jay-Z or frickin'... Actually, Jay-Z's not even that bad.
Yeah, Jay-Z's better than a lot of the new guys.
I doubt if, like... Honestly, if let's take, like, Taylor Swift, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, she probably strums, like, 4 chords on a guitar and writes some little lyrics down in a notebook, and then all of a sudden she's, like, a multi-millionaire, and she thinks she's, like, hot shit, but she probably doesn't even know, like... a major 7 chord from a minor 7 chord. Like, her musical knowledge is probably just abysmal.
Well, the thing I've noticed with, like, the top 100 or whatever, 95% of it's, like, this trap music and rap stuff.
Well, that's the thing, too, yeah. The most popular stuff is generally, like... You think my mic is loud enough?
Yeah, well, I can adjust it afterwards. If you want it to be... Is your monitor, do you want it to be higher?
Yeah. Just turn it up a little bit. Thanks.
Is that better?
Trial and error here. Yeah, I think, most of the trap stuff is, I think it's popular because it's what can be played in bars and clubs and nightclubs, and, it's super easy to crank out in mass numbers. I mean, you can basically produce a trap song personally, I could produce a trap song in 10 minutes, or it's all just a beat. And then there's just heavy compression on the low end and just a lot of bass, and it's all just... Then you get some stupid catchy melody over the top, like some like... it doesn't fucking matter what it is, but and then you just got to get some figurehead, which is usually an African American male in modern times with rap music, and your occasional Caucasian male like Mac Miller or something like that, but. Generally, you get a young African-American male, you give him just a bunch of gaudy jewelry and a bunch of bitches to surround him, which is just a bunch of...
Big booty bitches.
Right, which is just a bunch of, basically, girls without parenting.
Daddy issues, yeah,
pretty much. And then you just get all these people, and basically what happens is it's all advertising, It's, there's a whole theory about, if someone sees other people that like something, or if something is popular for especially with, middle school girls and stuff like that. If there's a group of middle school girls surrounding some stupid rap guy or something, then what do you think all the other middle school girls are going to do? They're going to gravitate to it because they don't even know what they like yet. They just... Yeah. It's all about groupthink and...
Well, monkey see, monkey do, right?
Yeah, it's groupthink, and it's all just... it's all just what can I do to fit in and everything. So, if the popular girls like, Kendrick Lamar, then... because he's not... It's hilarious to me as someone who, like, has actually studied music. Like, there's nothing about what maybe he has some... Well... And I've listened to his music, maybe he has some good rhymes and stuff, but there's nothing musically complex or challenging or really creative about any of it. In fact, I doubt he even knows his way around Pro Tools or around a digital audio interface. Like I doubt he even knows what he's doing.
Well, the thing,
it's just all produced.
Yeah. But the thing
he's just a figurehead.
I notice from like the difference between like 90s rap and like the modern trap music is like 90s rap, I think it took skill to like freestyle and come up with some of the lyrics. But
yeah, no, okay, so and the other thing too is if you listen to Biggie Smalls and all that stuff, like, okay, the thing is he was the pioneer of it, and it's not like it doesn't take musical ability to be able to, well, I guess poetic. It does take a certain amount of poetic ability to write rhymes, but like some of the stuff that they write is just so simple and repetitive, and it's all just hoes, money, bitches, money, hoes.
Well, there's that, but nowadays even the rhythm's repetitive. It's all like hoodada, hop out the car, yeah.
No, yeah,
shot him up, fuck the bitch.
Yeah, in the background,
it's the same
balls
shit.
On the face of the balls. Bitches around me and bitches around me and fuck.
It's even worse than the 90s rap, dude.
It's not even in the same. I consider 90s hip hop to be an actual form of artistic expression.
Yeah, like Tupac, I think I would consider an artist, but these guys
or Mobb Deep or the original gangster rap. But this modern stuff is all just what can we overproduce and cram down the throats of the masses and people that are, you know, if you think about the, like most people, they hear a song and they like it. Yep. And then that's as far as their interpretation of the music is. It's just, oh, that song's catchy, or oh, I like dancing to that song in the club or something. They don't actually think about what does that song mean to me, or what does, I mean, there's
there's no deep thinking involved with it, or the lyrics.
Right, yeah. That's why, you know, in order to find modern music where there's more of that deep thinking and stuff, you have to turn to like more alternative artists. And it's not even like there isn't rap and stuff and stuff like that is deep and meaningful. It's just most of the modern stuff that's really popular. It's almost like, and this is the thing that I found too, it's like, so like pick like, you know, Kendrick Lamar, for example. Yeah. He can come out with one decent album that has some good stuff on it, and then after that all of his music can just be complete garbage, and he'll still make millions of dollars on it. It's literally just establishing a fake. And again, I don't even think most of these rappers that are like famous and stuff, they probably don't even know their way around a music studio.
No,
they just come in and they're high off their ass, and they just come in and, you know, write some stupid rhymes and do it, you know, over and over again, and then some producer makes their music sound good. But I don't even think, you know, if you listen to them, they can't sing. Like,
a lot of them can.
None of them can actually sing. Like Drake is just auto-tuned to holy high shit.
Like, a lot of them are.
I would like to see how that guy sounds without fucking robot voice on him.
Well, dude, have you heard this new genre of rapping? It's like offbeat rapping. It's where they literally rap like without hearing the track, and then they just lay it over a track. So they don't even have to be on time.
Well, and see, that's just as lazy as it possibly gets.
I don't know how it would get any
and there's a difference between like doing that in a musical way. Yeah. To like make it cool. And then there's just like, you know, what they're literally, it's okay, so if you look at it from like a business perspective, it's how can we, there's, you know, the economies of scale. How can we maximize our industry to the point where we can just crank shit out at the least possible cost? And that's literally what a lot of this modern music is I guarantee you the producers, you know, they don't, it's not like they have to spend any money to create. They already have all the plugins and everything in their studio. All they do is just lay down some stupid beat that just which is synthesized. The guy comes in and raps over it. They'll take a sample from a song that has real musicians playing, and then they just dub that over the back of it, and that's where you get the sampling and stuff. And they don't even, not only are the rappers themselves not really musicians, but they don't even they rarely use actual musicians in the creation of these albums.
Right. It's all
fake. It's all just and the worst part is that they just pump this stuff out to the masses, to the mass public, and they just accept it as if they love it. Like it's some sort of they look at these rappers that are like they're some sort of gods and stuff. When, in my opinion, it takes more talent to change an alternator in a car than it does to be J. Cole or to be...
Well, the thing
he's not even that
yeah,
bad.
I like some modern guys.
He's not even... But, I mean, for example, like, to be like Drake, like, does that guy have a...
Well, anybody with Lil in front of their name, I don't like... I can't... There's so many, like, Lil Dicky. That guy's actually pretty funny.
Lil
but, like,
Jon,
Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
But I like J. Cole.
Little butt pimple.
I like Chance. And the reason why is because they're actually, like, storytellers in their lyrics. Like, there are still some modern rappers who are good at writing lyrics, and they tell stories instead of just like...
Yeah, and I don't want to lump in some of the decent rappers with the ones I'm talking about, but it's just like, the top 10, everything that's in the top 10 is just complete garbage.
Well...
Cardi B.
Yeah, Cardi B.
Complete garbage. First of all, she's like a knockoff.
She's a stripper.
She's a knockoff of Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, she is.
Who's already... pretty garbage.
Yeah.
So she's a knockoff of something that's not even
good no, I get what you're saying.
With.
Yeah, no, I could see that. But the thing I've noticed too is you know TikTok and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is
child pornography. It's glorified. It's literally glorified middle school girls that are putting a bunch of makeup and wearing super short like shorts and super, it's basically half naked middle school girls that are they don't realize it, but they're being viewed by not only all the guys in their school in a sexual manner, but
their kids when they have them.
Well, dude, think of all the creepy old men that
that's one thing. But I don't want to get into that subject right now. I'm talking more music. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is like
it's garbage.
The top 100 songs. No, I shouldn't say that. Like the top 10 songs, if you look at them right now, they're like TikTok songs. Like, and I don't know. I don't know what's first, the TikTok that makes them in the top 10, or they're in the top 10, so they put them in.
I believe they're in the top 10, and then they put them in the TikTok. I believe that's how it is. And then I believe that through TikTok and also just the mass PR that these
YouTube and everything,
these production companies do. And that's the other thing that's kind of fucked up in terms of music is so original artists have a harder time getting recognized on YouTube now. Because the way it works is that, the more money that you pay for your video to be sponsored and everything, the more views you're going to get.
Right.
And the way that the YouTube algorithm has all sorts of problems, but one of the problems is that it doesn't recommend independent artists and stuff. So basically, someone who originally became famous on YouTube because they had actual good music, are now becoming, it's literally just it's just what record company has more money to get. And I mean that makes sense. That's how it works. But it's the problem is now they can just pump out stuff that isn't even remotely musical.
No, it's a money game.
It makes millions of dollars. Yeah. And nobody has any concept of what good music is in the public, and that's what is concerning to me as a musician, is that it's just, and you can't, it's also kind of you have like the great musicians that were popular back in if you just take Elvis and his music and compare it to like modern music, you can tell that the level of musicality of his stuff was just so much above.
Well, and it's actual music.
Yeah, and even through the 70s and 80s with hair metal and stuff, like even as it got more and more simple, it's still very musical, and it's still and even into the 90s and the late 90s with hip hop and stuff, it's all very musical, and it's all very...
Well, even classic rock is like not hard at all.
Well, there's a difference between being
but it's still musical.
Yeah, there's a difference between being complex musically and then being musical. You know what I mean?
Right. Like the Beatles, I would argue, are super musical. Granted, they were also the first, but say, not even the Beatles, say like a hit song like American Pie or something.
Yeah.
That's literally it's not hard, but it's still musical, and it's very musical, and you can tell
why it got
huge.
And who even is it that sings
It's a one-hit wonder. I'm not sure.
Okay, but even that song, the guy actually has to sing.
Right, there's no auto-tune.
Yeah, and even not even auto-tune, but the guy actually has to write a melody.
Right, yeah.
With this rap music, the guys don't write a melody. Their version of a melody is lick on my dick, suck on my dick.
Yeah, it's the mumble shit.
Yeah, that's not a melody. That's not musical, and
it's diarrhea on a plate.
Well, it's rhythmic, but it's not.
Well, yeah, but now it's getting to the point where it's not even rhythmic. These fuckers that are doing offbeat mumble rap. I've heard songs.
It's and you gotta wonder with some of these guys is, do they actually think they're musicians, or do they realize that it's just a big fucking joke?
Well, I don't understand, because a lot of them are super drugged out. Like, they're dying in, like, their 20s and shit. Whether that's,
if you look at Mac Miller.
Yeah. Well, look at any of them.
He OD'd, and he was, like, what, 25 or something?
I have no idea.
He's, like, a few years older than me.
But they're super drugged 27. Out. So I think they're just, once they get to a point like that, they're literally being, like, controlled by their producers. They're just like, hey, I need you to do this, and then they fucking do it.
But they have so much money, they don't give a fuck. They just do what they say.
Yeah, but I also got to wonder how much money they actually have. Because I see all these rappers.
So much.
Yeah, but another thing, too, about the modern music business is nobody's buying fucking records. And you're not getting...
Well, but the money comes from merchandise and concert sales.
Right, but it's not coming from, like, song sales anymore.
But a lot of it does come from,
what about, like...
monetized YouTube videos and stuff.
I could see that.
If you think about it, like Vimo puts out how many...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they... all their videos are monetized, so all the rappers, it's all monetized.
What I wonder is, like, I have, like, Apple Music, and I can literally just listen to anything with a fucking, membership.
Yeah, it's like $10.
So how are they getting paid if I listen to their song? Are they even getting paid at that point?
Well, it's like I said. Well, part of it, I believe, comes from Apple, and that they have an agreement with,
it's like a deal
with
up
these
front.
mega production companies and stuff. And then I think also part of it is that most of the money now comes from concert sales, and you see people like and Kendrick Lamar is a big one where I think he is maybe better than some of these guys in terms of musicality, but it's not like anything he does is actually that, like, anybody could come up and just write poems down and shit, and just write cheesy rhymes, and half the time they're talking up their, they act like they're these badass motherfuckers,
right.
And, it's like, it's just dumb because it's all fake. It's all fake. And then they get all these, like, hoes to surround them and stuff.
People think that's what it's about. That's, like, what they want, because they see people have this stuff, and they're like, oh, shit, I must want that, too. And it's like, I don't know, man.
Well, it's even just, it's so simple. All they have to do is have a bunch of, like, middle school girls obsessed with this one guy, and then automatically all the other ones, without even it's not even like they think about what it is that they like. They just it's all group think. It's all about,
well, that's like Justin Bieber.
Oh, exactly.
He's the
perfect
example.
But even he had to sing.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like,
it was auto-tuned as fuck,
he was auto-tuned to shit. But from what I've heard, he's actually a decent singer.
Well, now he's starting to rap.
Well, yeah, because he thinks
he's
that's
like a sellout.
Yeah, he's a sellout.
It doesn't fucking matter. There's so much money. It doesn't.
Well, and that's the thing that's really fucked up too. Is, like, you have someone like that who's never actually worked a day in their life,
right?
And they don't know what it's like to have a shitty job. I've had shitty jobs since I was, like, in high school.
Yeah,
and, like, no one knows what it's like, other than people that, the regular person that goes through an experience. So when you have all that, when you just throw all that money at people like that don't know what it's like to work for their money or anything,
they go off the deep end.
They wreck their Ferrari. They go, Justin Bieber's been in and out of jail how many times?
Yeah.
And then that's the people that the media glorifies and everyone looks up to, and it's like, that's the downfall of our society, really. And it's also part of it is the whole, the problem with a lot of these rappers is they're not teaching, respect for women.
Oh, well, hell no, dude. They haven't been.
They're not teaching respect for anybody. It's all about just drugs, money, whores.
Well, the thing is, the Beatles in their time used to be fucking rebels, and if you watch them now, you're like, how the fuck were these guys rebels? So it's just getting ramped up over time, and now we're at the point where it's like, how the fuck do you ramp it up anymore?
Well, I think eventually there's going to be a certain amount. There's going to be like a subculture of people that are really into like rock music or into like
a throwback,
more classical.
era.
Yeah, like and I think there's going to be more probably some sort of reemergence of people that are really into, and I think some of that is coming out in some of like the math rock scene and stuff, because it's all instrument focused and it's all very musical, and it's but it's not even, I wouldn't even consider anything that's on the recommended in iTunes, like very, very little of that is like legitimate music.
Well, the thing that gives me hope is there's still people like Ed Sheeran. Like, I don't like Ed Sheeran, but at least he plays music.
He's not bad. I mean, he sings, he songwrites, he writes actual music.
Right, that's the thing.
But then hope. He sells out too when he comes out with shit like The Shape of You or whatever.
I'm not gonna be familiar with.
It's that song that goes, "I'm in love with your body." Nah, nah,
yeah.
So he comes out with that shit, which sells big because you can play it in clubs.
Right.
But it's just it. But even that is more musical than half of this shit.
No, yeah, I totally agree. That's what I'm saying. Him as a whole is more musical. But and I think that's not. Maybe I could be wrong. This is just me inferring, but I think that's like his producers are like, "Hey man, you want to make a shit ton of money? And then like record this song, and then you can record what you actually want to record."
Well, that's probably. Well, he was big before that, but he was kind of falling under a little bit. So then they were probably like, "Why don't we just come out with these club songs and shit?"
Yep.
And I just don't. It's like there's a time and place for that type of music. Like, okay, like if you're in the club, and you're drinking and. You're probably
gonna go hook up with a fat chick or something.
Well, you're probably a little high or something. Yeah. There's all these beautiful girls around you that are like half naked, and there's all everyone's being a dumbass because they're in the club and stuff.
Right.
That's the type of music that you dance to in a club.
Yeah.
And you want that type of music. Like if you're in a club and they start playing like Jack Johnson, you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
You know what era?
But what I was gonna say is that it's like, do people just want to listen to that music nonstop? So when they're not in the club, when they're like going to get groceries, do they still want to listen?
Yeah,
to
no,
that
I get
shit? Like there's got to be a time. It's like there is a purpose for it.
Yeah,
it's not completely useless. It's just that what's weird to me is that people want to just listen to that shit all the time.
Well, people drive to my private high school in suburban Indiana, listening to music about like killing people and fucking bitches and drug money.
And of course, they're blaring it out of their Jeeps.
Yeah, and it's like
their daddy bought them, like their $40,000 Jeep Saharas.
You could not relate to that music at all,
because it's not about relating to the music. Is my point? It's just about feeling like you think you're a badass or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's the emotion that goes along with it, I think.
Yeah.
It's like an ego gratifying thing to listen to that because it makes you feel like a fucking...
Like a pimp or something.
Yeah.
You think you're a pimp in your daddy's Jeep.
right. Like driving to private school.
Right.
But I was going to say, you know what era would be fucking awesome for like the clubs?
What's that?
Disco, dude.
I agree.
That's fucking epic.
I think there should be a comeback of 70s disco.
That'd be insane.
That would be awesome. And I think disco.
It's like the most danceable music.
It is the most danceable music.
I mean, I don't listen to it.
You can't grind to it.
Well,
and that's all people want to do. I mean, that's all people want to do in the clubs. Yeah. Clubs are basically like a softcore orgy. I'm serious. If you some of the clubs in like Indianapolis, if you go in, and now granted it's Indianapolis, so it's prime, it's cream of the crop.
Right.
If you go into some of those clubs downtown past midnight, it's just a glorified orgy.
Yeah.
Like you're just trying to hang out with your friends and like maybe dance with a girl or something, and then there's like 3 guys next to you that are like humping some like hood trash chick.
Yeah, and like a guy gets mixed in, they're humping each other. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
But they're all so drugged out that they just accept it.
Yeah.
Well, and nowadays too, like it could be like a tranny.
Oh yeah, you don't know.
It could be. Yeah, it could be a girl that is a dude that's dressed like a girl or something. You know, Which is, I'm, as a libertarian, I'm totally...
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
You just gotta be careful.
Yeah, more power to you, but it's just, I'd like to know if my dick is in between the cheeks of a dude.
Just stop. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
That would be nice for me to know on the forefront.
Yeah.
But then again, that makes you transphobic if you have an issue with doing a dude or something.
Right, I don't know. I get lost with it all. But, dude, we're at like 25 minutes right now.
Okay.
And, I mean, I usually make these like 30 to 45 minutes as the mark, so we can talk about... I mean, I honestly think we could just stay on music for 5 minutes or something.
That's fine. We could do that. We could do another podcast on a different topic
I think we should do that.
Okay, all right. Well, well, I mean, just overall...
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a comeback of people that are like really into like, modern, like there needs to be a modern group of people that are really into like sticking to actual music. And,
right.
like,
I agree.
That's what's going to save music, I think.
Yeah. I think there's definitely hope. And again, I'm going to go back to like Ed Sheeran. He's actually making music and people listen to him on the scale of like top 100s.
Yeah, and he's really not bad compared to, and you get people like that. I don't have a problem with pop as much as I do with just pop that has no meaning to it.
Yeah.
I guess even as far as it goes, like Taylor Swift isn't that bad.
No, I would consider her still music. I would consider
Taylor Swift music. It's just, and from what, I guess I've heard mixed things about her. I've heard some people say that she doesn't do anything, and I've heard some people say she actually writes her own music and stuff, and if that's the case, that's good. But then again, the problem is you see all these people like Taylor Swift, who was originally like a country pop singer. Right. Now she's getting into like this rap shit too.
Yeah.
So you see all these people that are like...
It's a wave. No matter what you do, you're going to this. And I don't mind rap. Like, I listen to rap a lot, actually, but it's this fucking modern trap shit.
It's this overproduced rap,
and everything,
but it's not even true rap. It's like half rap, half club music.
I don't even know what the fuck it is.
It just, if I could pick like the perfect artist that is an example of that, it'd be like Drake.
Yeah, Drake's super popular, dude.
I know
Drake's insanely popular. I personally don't listen.
He can't even sing. Like I don't listen to his stuff, so I don't know. It's horrible, dude.
Yeah, Drake's huge. One of the modern rappers I listen to a lot is actually Chance, because he actually sings, and he doesn't really have a great singing voice, but he fucking sings.
Chance is good.
I think J. Cole's stuff is pretty good. Yeah,
Kendrick Lamar's decent-ish.
Kendrick Lamar,
but the thing that bothers me about people like him though, is he's walking around thinking he's like God's gift to music.
Well, yeah, of course he is.
Like Mozart would be rolling over in his grave. That's a totally
different era.
No, but that's what all led to it.
No, I understand.
So like Mozart and Vivaldi and even Louis Armstrong would be rolling over in his grave.
Yeah.
If he heard Kendrick Lamar and Kendrick Lamar, everyone was praising him like he's some sort of amazing musician.
Right. Well, and the thing too is, in the past, musicians didn't get paid a shit ton. Musicians made like a living.
A very few of them made it big.
Now they're making millions and millions of dollars, like the top guys.
And it's like the worse you are, the more money you
get. Yeah, no, exactly. So, we're at 30 minutes, so I think we cut it off.
All right.
But I want to touch on one thing. What do you think the future of music is going to be? Like, what is the sound going to be from here?
Well, if it keeps going the way it is, it's going to be like the next top 10 hits in like 20 years. I could see it going one of two ways.
Yeah.
Either we could kind of get away from this awful trap shit, which, by the way, there is a time and a place for it. But it could, the top 10s could go back to being, more like actual music.
Instruments.
Yeah. Or it could just get to the point where, like, you literally listen to the top 10 songs. And it's literally just like... yeah.
That's already how it is.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying it's going to get to the point. Yeah, just times 10. Like, it's going to get to the point where it's just devoid of any bass in artistic ability or music ability, and that would be the downfall.
Well, let's hope it goes to the first one.
You never know. Well, it's
Anyways, Toby, thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
It's good to have you. See you guys next time.